Hi, I'm Heather Hawker, President and CEO of the Lubbock Symphony Orchestra, and this is Clef Notes. I'm excited to introduce you to our musicians, guest artists, and patrons who for 80 years have developed a love of music through your Lubbock Symphony here on the South Plains. In today's episode, you will meet the Lubbock Symphony Chamber Orchestra Artistic Director, Eric Allen. Eric also serves as the Associate Professor of Music and the Associate Director of Bands at Texas Tech University, as well as the Director of Traditional Music Ministries at First United Methodist Church here in Lubbock. Eric will conduct the March Chamber Concert titled Appalachian Spring, featuring selections by Copland, Bach, Vivaldi, and Manfredini on Saturday, March 14th in the Crickets Theater at the Buddy Holly Hall of Performing Arts and Sciences, beginning at 7:30 p.m. Hi, Eric. Thank you for joining me on Cliff Notes.
Oh, thank you so much. It's so great to be here.
Eric, when do you sleep? No, seriously, I'm excited to have you on Cliff Notes today. I was in deep conversation with my husband the other night, and it got me thinking, we should really educate our audience about chamber concerts. What is a chamber concert?
Well, that's a great question. So we're thrilled to have the Chamber Series as part of the Lubbock Symphony offerings. A chamber orchestra is how we defined it in particular is somewhat of a smaller orchestra slightly, but with the same musicians that you're used to seeing with the Lubbock Symphony. And one of the benefits of this, and more so than it being slightly smaller, is that it's more flexible. So we have the opportunity to explore music that the full symphony might not in a masterworks concert per se. So the ability to do chamber music, things that are for maybe a smaller string section, sometimes just music for winds, or specialty solo works, but things that allow for flexible instrumentation, just to be able to explore the music that we might not normally hear at a masterworks concert.
You know, I've been a big fan of Copland and Bach and Vivaldi for years and years. I'm not as familiar with Manfredini. What do we need to know about these four composers, and what's so special about combining these composers?
Well, it's a really interesting concert, I think, and so I'm glad you asked. Manfredini is an Italian Baroque composer, wrote really a lot of concerto grosso. But in particular, the piece that we're going to feature is actually a trumpet concerto for two trumpets and orchestra. And so I think our audience will really enjoy getting to hear this. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. But I think what makes this concert exciting is it's really kind of a tale of two halves. The first half of the concert is the namesake of the concert, Appalachian Spring by Aaron Copland, which is one of the pieces that he's probably most known for. Now, if you've attended one of our concerts in the past, in particular a year ago, we actually featured the Aaron Copland Clarinet Concerto. We featured David Shea, our principal clarinetist. There have been other really substantial Copland works that are things that we explore in the orchestra world. But this particular piece was composed in 1945 and was originally designed for a ballet. We're playing the original suite, which is the collection of music, if you will, from the ballet. And in its original form, which was actually for 13 players. Now we're expanding that a little bit. And of course, later Copland expanded to a larger work for full orchestra. But it gives us the opportunity to kind of honor this original suite that Copland prepared. That's the first half of the program, is the Appalachian Spring. When you come back after the intermission, we're going to go back a couple hundred years into a different genre, if you will, the Baroque period, which is we often characterize as very rhythmic and visceral and very exciting, with these terrace dynamics and very exciting music of one of the most iconic composers that we can ever think of, Johann Sebastian Bach. And as you mentioned, we'll be doing music of Bach, which will be the Brandenburg Concerto No. 3, which will feature a lot of our string players in kind of a concerto format, if you will. We'll also be doing Handel's Concerto Grosso, Opus 6, No. 1, which will feature the string section again, and something that really features the work of Handel, who is an English composer. And then, as I mentioned, Bach, I should have mentioned he's also a German composer. And then two Italian pieces, Vivaldi and Manfredini, both are trumpet concertos that feature two trumpet players. And we're going to be featuring Gary Hudson, who's our principal trumpet, and also Joe Vandiver, who's our second trumpet with the Lubbock Symphony. And we're just so excited to be able to showcase their talents on two beautiful pieces, some majestic pieces for trumpet and orchestra.
Why did you select these particular pieces for this chamber?
Well, Copeland's Appalachian Spring just has to be done in the spring. And so it just kind of works so well for that. And it's a piece that I think not only the audience will enjoy, and they're the iconic shaker melody, "'Tis the Gift to Be Simple," the tune that so many people will know when it finally comes to its full fruition. But the idea of this very iconic and recognizable tune to kind of start off the concert. But the Baroque music is something that we don't always hear the symphony do because of the full forces of the symphony. We tend to hear some of the music of the later periods, the Romantic, sometimes the classical, and of course the modern. The opportunity to really feature some of the Baroque music really fits into the chamber orchestra setting because we can be really flexible in the instrumentation and allow for a variety of different different setups and different sonorities and all of the things that can really be exciting. And just to have two different ideas on this concert, I thought would be really fun.
I like it, and I think it's perfect for this Lenten season too with Copeland. I hadn't really had put that together until I was preparing for this interview. Well, let's shift gears. I'm really excited. I've had a sneak peek to the 26-27 repertoire, but let's give our audience a sneak peek. What do you have planned for this fall holidays and in spring 2027?
Well, the next season, we're really excited to explore some ideas for this next season. I'll give you just a little sneak peek into the first concert. I'll withhold a little bit, if you will, for the spring. But the first concert is kind of a concert about firsts. The primary work will be Beethoven's First Symphony, which is one that really kind of marked an early time in Beethoven's compositional period, which is really associated more with the classical era. And we often think of Beethoven as that transitional composer that kind of led into what we know now as the Romantic era. But this is one of his earliest symphonies, Symphony Number 1. Along with that, though, we're going to be featuring one of the pieces that is likely one of the first classical pieces anybody that you ask will recognize, and it's the opening movement of Mozart's Eine kleine Nachtmusik, which is something that I know once the audience hears, they're going to really enjoy, and it'll just be very nostalgic, if you will. So that's just a little sneak at some of the next season.
I love it. Well, and it's never too early to talk about Christmas. Mm-hmm. What can you share about Home for the Holidays on Tuesday, December 1st? I'm going to go ahead and plug it there. Mm-hmm. And it will be in Buddy Holly Hall in the Helen DeWitt Jones Theater. So,
well, Home for the Holidays is something near and dear to my heart. I was a part of establishing the first Christmas concert that we did as part of this series a couple of years ago. And the past 2 years, it's been at the Civic Center. This year, we're thrilled to be moving it to Buddy Holly Hall. The Civic Center has been wonderful, but we believe we're at a place where we need to expand. And so we're really thrilled to do that concert at Buddy Holly Hall on December 1st. Now, that's a Tuesday evening, which is a little unusual for a concert, but to be able to kick off the holiday season on December 1st, I don't think you can substitute that for anything. We want to be a part of starting the Christmas season, the holiday season in Lubbock. We want this to be the event that people look to as the way they start the holiday season. And we're already putting together an amazing lineup of iconic Christmas music. We have a featured soloist that we're going to be bringing in. I'm not going to quite reveal that yet, but we're looking forward to being able to reveal that very soon. But this concert will feature choirs, including members of the First United Methodist Church Chancel Choir, which is, obviously near and dear to me. But also the Lubbock Chorale will be involved in this concert this year as well. We're looking forward to having the full forces of a large choir with the orchestra to really usher in the holiday season. So we hope people will put December 1st on their calendar that Tuesday, December 1st, which is just going to be a magical event.
Well, start your Christmas shopping now. It's never too early. I think I need to start making my list, and December will be here before we know it, as we've started planning for the 80th season of the Lubbock Symphony and the 26-27 season. It's really exciting. We will kick off the Masterworks series that first week in September before Labor Day weekend. So with a Thursday night concert. So we're really excited about next season. Lots of great movement. And it's just been a joy to work with Eric and, of course, with David Cho, our maestro. So it's really made my transition to the Lubbock Symphony quite easy. Eric, thank you for joining me today. And thank you for all you do for Lubbock and our communities.
It's my pleasure.
A special thank you to our audience for listening to Classical 105.7. On behalf of your Lubbock Symphony and our Lubbock Chamber Orchestra, please know that tickets are limited for the March 14th concert. I do want to remind our listeners to make plans to join Masterworks 4, Echoes of the New World, featuring a side-by-side of the Lubbock Symphony Orchestra and the Lubbock Youth Orchestra, presented by Texas Tech University on Saturday, March 28th at 7:30 p.m. at the Buddy Holly Hall of Performing Arts and Sciences. For our season subscribers, this is a date change. Masterworks 4 will be Saturday, March 28th. You can find the Lubbock Symphony Orchestra on social media, and to purchase tickets, visit our website at lubbocksymphony.org, and be sure to download the Classical 105.7 app so you never miss an episode of Cliff Notes. Make it a great day.